Well, that definitely sets the scene for what it is we're discussing about now. We're returning our attention to the call for restructuring. We're being joined by Mr. Tanko, who is the national chairman of the National Conscience Party. You're welcome to Sunrise Daily.
Thank you very much, Marco, for having me. Good morning, Nigerians.
So quickly, what has been your thoughts on restructuring?
Okay, let me quickly give you a synopsis of what restructuring means to various zones of this country.
Okay.
In the Southwest, they look at restructuring as federalism, where the states will have state police individually controlled by the states and then probably generate income and give some to the federal. In the Southeast, talking about marginalization. Why will all the other states have 6 states minimum and the Southeast have only 5? Infrastructural decay and all of those. In the South-South, it's about resource control. Our resources have been generated and all of those have been used to develop other parts of the country. Northeast. The Northeast look at it from the side of issue of infrastructure decay, religious and tribal domination. So also in the North Central. In the Northwest, of course, it is about the issue of direct attack on the Northwest, looking at it as if it is benefiting from the other region and not contributing any. Meanwhile, they look at themselves as people who have contributed enormously through the agricultural area to help in developing other part of the country, including the support, of course, from the Southwest, the cocoa and the rest of them. But when you look at it from both sides of the North and the South, it's about, oh no, the North has dominated with a lot of power and all. So let's whittle it down by actually make sure that, okay, it develops power and then everybody can have a chunk of how we control the government.
That's how you see it?
That is the way we see it, I say it.
Summarily?
Yes, summarily, that's it. Now, but what does it mean to the ordinary person on the street? Good governance. Has it been done? No. And that's why when I look at Collins' dictionary definition of what restructuring is, it says to look at an organization or a system, in this context a country, right, to make the changes effectively so that it will work effectively well. Here, the word for me is effectively. Has it been done? No. I listened to some of our past leaders when they are talking about restructuring, supporting restructuring and all of them, and I feel pained. They collectively or individually owe Nigerians an apology. Because the system in which we find, which is what I call a system check, is where we find ourselves. The decay in the system. This system is so decayed to a point that, a clear example, we have a civil service that has been there for too long. The civil service rule is archaic. What about the financial regulation? Almost moribund. The truth about it is that when a civil servant leaves his own office for serving this country for 35 years or 60 years, he waits for his own pension or gratuity 5 years after. Probably he even die in the process. That is where the system, to me, that is where restructuring starts. What about the Nigerian youths that have been annihilated and completely forgotten? Even all of this agitation, OPC, youth base, Niger Delta, youth base, Biafra, youth base, Boko Haram, youth base. The system has not provided for the youth to be taken care of immediately when they leave school. So they become obsolete on the society, looking for, scavenging for job to do. And then they listen to how their leaders have been filling the country's wealth to a point of stupor. Those are the areas in which myself and my party is looking at. It's not about devolution of powers and the rest of them. Even when you devolve power, the way it is now, we have 36 states, including the FCT.
So let us talk. I mean, because you seem to be moving from one issue to the other.
Yeah, because there are so many.
Yeah, many issues, and they're very, interlinked, and I totally appreciate that.
Yeah.
But, do you think that, first of all, these numerous definitions of restructuring as seen by you can be reconciled?
Oh, of course it can be reconciled. Only on the system. What I mean by the system is just what I have just been able to highlight for you. You see, we have 36 states of the Federation and 774 local government. The idea was to ensure that governance come close to the people. But let's even give some kudos to the federal government. At least they share some money. What about the state? Did they share the money to the local government? They completely annihilate the local government. So they're not even functioning. You see? So the system is not working in such a way that will make the ordinary person on the street comfortable. So if we are talking about restructuring, which I will support, but let us look at it in the context of how we deliver directly to the people in which we take over leadership to govern, which we are not doing. Majority of the leaders in which have found themselves in position of power, they are not doing it. And that is the reason why.
Just a moment.
Yeah.
You support the call for restructuring,
yes,
but you think it's more about political leadership.
Yes, it is more on leadership to the people, delivering to the people. And then the youth, of course, need to demand for accountability.
No, some people say that that's not the reason. Some people say that given the current system that we have, even if, you had all the, and this is with reference to, I listened to Professor Chukwuma Soludo, one of his speeches, and he said that even if you had all the people from a particular village at the center, that their village, because of the structure of Nigeria, their village do not feel any sense of development.
That is exactly what I'm saying.
Not because they don't mean well for their villages.
No.
But because of how it's currently structured.
No. That's not true. I just give you a simple example of what this duty. Since 1976, we've been breaking down this particular governance of the people, breaking it down from state to state, from 12 states. How many states? 36 states now, as currently formulated. 774 local government. So how well do you want the government to be close to the people? Is it because the people who are found in leadership have not been delivering to the people?
The argument is that currently, the way we currently run our system, the fact that there's just money from one major source, which is crude oil.
Yes.
Which remind,
yes,
a lot of people do not know how that money even comes.
Yes.
They believe that government just has money. Tax system is very weak. People are not generally involved.
Yes.
So you have